When a boy's classmates didn't come to his birthday party, his community knew exactly who to call. Christian Larson is a personable, charming kid who just so happens to be a little different from his classmates. He's autistic, and as his birthday was approaching one summer, it looked as though no one was going to attend. But then Christian got the surprise of his life when some unexpected guests walked through his front door.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
A resident of Meridian, Idaho, Christian has a pretty big family at home. He's got a brother and two sisters, all watched over by his mom and dad. They appear to be a tight-knit, loving group, and that's the perfect environment for a child like Christian to grow up in. After all, youngsters on the autistic spectrum can have trouble developing certain skills. For instance, socializing can be a major issue. To go into more detail on that front, Lindsay Rohn spoke to Autism Parenting magazine in August 2022. She plies her trade as a speech-language pathologist. Rohn outlined some of the difficulties that the condition can cause and how it can affect people such as Christian. But that's not all. Rohn explained, a difference in social development is a core characteristic of autism. In my experience, many of my clients with autism have more difficulty attending to and engaging with others, and have more trouble participating in back-and-forth interactions. She added that older children with autistic tendencies she'd encountered had developed such skills, but weren't adhering to the archetypal conventions most people followed when socializing. A couple of examples Rohn provided were conversation skills and manners. Meanwhile, the expert also flagged up how moms and dads could help their kids if they'd recently been diagnosed with autism. Those actions could go a long way to forging positive developments in the months and years to come. Consider your child's strengths and build on them, Rohn continued. Find therapists and teachers who share similar views with you. Investigate your child's individual differences and be sure they're well regulated before focusing on interactions. Then, enter their world and try to create genuine interactions that are joyful for both you and your child. And her advice didn't stop there. Rohn added, in all cases, I believe it's important to join in on your child's world versus trying to get them to join yours. Use their interests and strengths to get an interaction going. Social interactions should be based on shared joy, not on following neurotypical rules for interactions. She urged parents with autistic children to think hard about what got them excited and to try to use those things to help establish a rewarding connection with their offspring. In Rohn's opinion, that approach could play an important role in preparing autistic kids for their time at school. You see, they might feel more comfortable interacting with the other children off the back of what they'd learned from their folks. Plus, teachers could do their part too, as role-playing and visual aids during lessons could further improve their social development. Yet despite all that, school can still be extremely tough for certain children with autism. And we're not just referring to the classes. Struggles to form relationships with their peers can be another serious stumbling block. So that brings us back to Christian. His mother discovered the true extent of his friendship troubles ahead of the youngster's 9th birthday party in June 2019. On that note, Lindsay took to Facebook in May 2019 and outlined what had happened in a highly detailed post. The mom wrote, "We've never done a class party for Christian before. There was one year in preschool where a couple girls from his class came. We kept it really small and it was great. But for the past couple of years, Christian has been begging to invite all of his friends." After putting it off the previous year, Lindsay revealed that she'd given Christian the green light to organize a bigger party for his 9th. So he drew up the invites and fired them off to his classmates. But the mom of 4 started to worry when no one responded over the following week. What was going on? Lindsay even questioned if Christian might have forgotten to hand out the invites, only to discover that he'd done so in the middle of a lesson. Anyway, they continued to wait for written replies as the week went on, yet nothing changed. "I know a lot of people just don't RSVP anymore, so I was hoping that's all that was going on," she wrote. Unfortunately for Christian, though, that wasn't the case. Lindsay recalled, At the end of the school year picnic, Christian was saying goodbye to his friends and asked them to RSVP. I watched as he talked to 6 kids from his class. He addressed them by name, paused, then talked. He's worked so hard to learn names this year, and I could tell he was proud as he talked to them. Christian asked a couple for high fives, Lindsay continued. One girl responded to him and said, "Okay." The rest were boys. 3 didn't respond at all. One just said, "No." Another, who was sitting at a picnic table next to us, first ignored him, and then when Christian didn't take the hint to leave and asked again, said, "Maybe." The parents didn't acknowledge Christian either. Clearly, no parent wants to see their kid get rejected in that manner, but Lindsay wasn't angered by what went down at the picnic. The mother admitted, "The hardest thing is, I do understand. It can be uncomfortable to try to be friends with someone who's had outbursts and cried in class." Then Lindsay added, "It's normal to be uncomfortable with difference or something that's unfamiliar. But the best way to get rid of that uncomfortable feeling is to make it not be so different anymore. We need to teach our children that when we feel scared by something, we need to learn about it. Knowledge is power, and we can use it to build the world." From there, Lindsay finished the Facebook post by looking ahead to Christian's party. Yes, even though only one person had said yes, the event was still a go. They weren't pulling the plug, despite the disappointment. But neither of them could have predicted what would happen after the mom shared her message on social media. It quickly gained a lot of attention online. At the time of writing, the social media post had earned over 400 likes and generated more than 200 comments. Lindsay's words appeared to strike a chord, which ultimately led one of her pals to make an intriguing decision. Once she read the message, she started a correspondence with a man named Dan Holtry. He coached Nampa High School's football team. To shed a bit more light on what came next, Lindsay spoke to Idaho TV station KTVB in July 2019. She recalled, "My friend told me that she had gotten in contact with Dan Holtry, and he wanted to bring some of his best players out for Christian's birthday party. But would the players share their coach's enthusiasm?" Well, Holtry didn't have to wait too long to find out. The football coach told KTVB, "The kids, before I could finish the text, it feels like they were like, 'We're in. Coach, we are in.' They were like, 'When do we do it? Let's go.' I was amazed how much they wanted to participate in this and take care of Christian."